I'm thrilled to join you today, and thank you for having me, and thank you to Disability Inn and the organizers of this year's annual meeting. To the disability community advocates who are watching this, thank you so much for your critical work, and congratulations to the awardees who have made great strides with inclusivity practices. Elaine Hall once said, quote, "Inclusion elevates all," end quote. If only every company could see that not having a diverse workforce is in fact a weakness. But look, it's never too late to make changes and attract people of all backgrounds and turn that into a great source of strength. As an investor and sole trustee managing over $38 billion in pension fund assets on behalf of the state, my priority is creating a portfolio that has sustainable long-term value. And countless studies have shown that embracing diversity and inclusion increases shareholder value. Institutional investors are placing a premium on companies who see value in maintaining a workforce with a wide range of viewpoints, experiences, and abilities. A 2018 report by Accenture, Getting to Equal, the Disability Inclusion Advantage, noted that companies embracing best practices for employing people with disabilities have outperformed their peers, with 28% higher revenue, double the net income, and 30% higher profit margins. Despite the economic benefits of disability inclusion practices, an estimated 10.3 million people with disabilities are underutilized as a talent pool and underrepresented in corporate America. This needs to change. So, what's next? We keep up the pressure. We need action on disability inclusion both at the state and federal level. The companies in which we invest must improve their business practices and the representation of people with disabilities in the workplace. We all benefit when individuals with all abilities have an opportunity to contribute their talents and thrive. This goes far beyond the bottom line. Since taking office as Connecticut's 83rd state treasurer, I have engaged with Connecticut Pension Fund's top holdings to incorporate best practices for disability inclusion in their workplaces. We continue to strongly encourage participation in the Disability Equality Index, also known as DEI, which, as you know, assists businesses in evaluating their disability inclusion policies and practices. Companies that improved their DEI scores were 4 times more likely to have shareholder returns exceeding their peers. In fact, before COVID-19 delayed Connecticut's 2020 legislative session, I submitted testimony in support of House Bill 5059, an act establishing a tax credit for businesses that employ individuals with intellectual or developmental disabilities. The committee's efforts to encourage companies to hire individuals with intellectual disabilities is commendable, and I firmly believe that it is the right thing to do for people, as well as for profitability. I was proud to lend my name in support and will continue to do all that I can to incentivize employers to build inclusive workplaces for all. In order to build those inclusive workplaces, there are specific things companies can do. We need more companies to 1, adopt policies for setting goals, 2, track progress in hiring people with disabilities, and 3, have executive leadership support for disability-focused employee resource groups and other best practices. If you're representing a company and listening to this, it's never too late to start. The time for change is now. In my view, as a long-term shareholder, I believe that the value of our interest in a company is maximized when diversity and inclusion are embraced, from the board of directors to a company's workforce to its procurement and supply chains. Companies with these commitments are better positioned to deliver sustainable value to its shareholders. The business case for disability inclusion, specifically, is a persuasive one. What the Accenture report made clear was this: companies that embrace best practices for employing people with disabilities outperform their peers. Inclusion really is the outgrowth of eliminating unconscious and inefficient bias. As a fiduciary, as an investor, and as a public official, I place a premium on the concept that we can achieve better outcomes when we tap into the value of everyone's contributions. Before I close, I would be remiss if I did not mention, for those listening who may be a member of the disability community or who may know someone in Connecticut living with a disability, this month I was proud to launch the Connecticut Achieving a Better Life Experience Saving Program, also known as ABLE-CT, which allows individuals living with a disability or their legal guardian the opportunity to open an account and save money using a federally tax-advantaged ABLE-CT savings plan. At a time when we are seeing the pandemic deepen already existing economic disparities, thousands of individuals living with a disability in Connecticut continue to be financially burdened by countless expensive disability-related costs. I'm committed to continuing to support individuals living with a disability in achieving greater financial independence, expanding self-reliance, and increasing access to opportunities. And that is exactly what ABLE-CT program will do. So please join me in spreading the word about this new program. Together, let's continue to take significant steps to ensure that the estimated 61 million people living with disabilities in America are no longer underutilized and underrepresented in corporate America. They, too, can achieve great things. We just need to stand with them, ensure they have the access they deserve, and be the change that our country so desperately needs. Thank you.